Namo Buddhaya, meritorious Dhamma friends. Ordinary living beings fail to understand the true nature of life. They live according to their own realization and what they have understood about the world. Usually, people try to follow others. So, they try to look at someone else and live according to how other people live. So, a lot of people are living with their own beliefs and they try to follow what ordinary people follow. It's very rarely a person follow the Buddha's path or maybe live a virtuous life. It starts from the school, it starts from the college or maybe from the university. So most of the teenagers, they tend to experience happiness by uh, organizing parties, then by uh, going to see beautiful places. So like getting together with a lot of friends and visiting sacred places, visiting religious teachers, and visiting temples is very rarely done by, extremely rarely done by children and by young adults. So, since the most important things that should be done as adults, as young adults, when it is not done, the most beneficial things that should be done in the right age, when that is not done, they grow with their own understandings and they grow with the knowledge that they get from the school, just from the ordinary subjects that they learn, and with some basic few qualities, just some with basic manners, like basic things like maybe saying sorry for something that you have done, apologizing, and then try to seek happiness or maybe solutions through the law of a country rather than thinking in a way that is good for you and good for others, rather than putting yourself in another's place. We might just seek uh, a safe living and a protection through the rules and regulations that are imposed by a government. So with this nature, what happens? The society, the message that comes from the society is, if someone gets angry, the message that comes from the society is not loving kindness. Then the solution for sadness or for sorrow is not understanding the impermanence nature or a solution to be detached. The solutions could be mixing with their friends and going out for a dinner and going out to watch a movie or spend time in a way that, again, when they lose their friends to share their suffering, and they might feel lonely when they don't get to meet those friends who help them to overcome suffering. And then yet when you are not with your friends, when you're all alone back at home, when you come back home again, you will feel sad. So that happens because when we don't understand the proper way to overcome suffering. So the message that we get from the society is not sufficient enough to be happy in face of separation from loved ones. When we separate from loved ones, we try to find another loved one, we try to talk to another person and try to overcome that suffering. So when we mix with people that we do not like, we try to run away from that place, so we try to argue with them and then try to overcome our desire of, or just show our anger towards the person that we do not like and subside our anger. So those are the normal ways that we see from other people. So if we live like this, that will harm our life, that will ruin the happiness of our life. So that's why we should be guided from a special person. So a supreme Buddha, a Buddha, guide us in the right path in a way without pointing finger towards other people, and developing our own mind and practice patience then and there, and practice loving kindness whenever needed, then practice and understand the impermanence nature whenever needed, then then to overcome jealousy whenever needed, like if you feel jealous of others, then you can expect the development of others and see how other people are developing and overcome jealousy. Then taking revenge. So taking revenge is something that will go from one life to another life. So by understanding these things, we can avoid taking revenge and practice loving kindness, and we should be able to forgive others. We should be able to give forgiveness for the mistakes that other people have done. So we have been learning this great sutta so far, the Mahasatipatthana Sutta, for us to apply those various meditation techniques then and there. So we have learned the breathing meditation, and we have learned the mindfulness on the body postures, then in each and every movement in the body, sampajana. Then we learn the asubha meditation to see the true nature of the body, because for an example, people do not consider the true nature of the body. When they do not consider the true nature of the body, they get attached. So that's because they don't see the impurities, the reality in this body. So to overcome attachment, we have to practice this asubha meditation. Then Buddha taught another way uh, to see this body separately as elements, like this is made out of solid, this is made out of water, and then this is made out of heat and air. So whatever made out of solid, water, heat, air, those things decays very fast. Those things decays and can get damaged anytime. So we are looking at something that can get damaged anytime. We are looking at something that can get deteriorate anytime, and we are getting attached. So that's because we don't have a clear comprehension. We don't see things with a broad mind. So when you take the Buddha's time, there were monks who realized the Four Noble Truths, who purified their mind when they were punished, when they were impaled on a shark's stalk. Imagine a monk is impaled on a shark's stalk. Being seated on that, they purified their mind. So not all the monks during the Buddha's time realized the Four Noble Truths while they were crossing their legs. There was one monk. This monk visited his hometown. Then his wife was worried that this monk might come back home. Actually, this monk came for alms round, because monks are not living in the same village or the city. They are going from one city to another city. So he had to come to that village, and then his wife sent some bandits and to kill him. So then when the bandits came to him, when the thieves came to him, this monk said, please give me some time to live, because I haven't realized the Four Noble Truths yet. Then they were not convinced. They said, no, we can't let you live more than, we can't leave you like this. Then the monk took a huge rock, and then the monk damaged his knees, both knees, from that huge rock. And then he asked the thieves, now what do you think? Now will you let me, now I can't walk anymore, will you let me to live at least for a few hours until I realize the Four Noble Truths? Then the thieves agreed. So that monk, he damaged his own knees just to convince the thieves that he can't walk anymore, and with that great pain he realized the Four Noble Truths. So imagine how powerful the Buddha's teachings are, even when a person is suffering from a severe pain like that. He is still able to realize the Four Noble Truths. So we are learning such a great Dhamma, such a powerful Dhamma that can help us to realize the Four Noble Truths even in any hard situation. We can purify our mind to a great extent even in any hard situation. No one is here impaled right now. We are all living home peacefully, just think we are just locked down. So use this valuable time to practice this wonderful Dhamma, and then realize the Four Noble Truths. So first of all, let's go for refuge to Buddha, Dhamma, Sangha and observe the 5 precepts and learn a few suttas that was taught by the Buddha for us to make it easy for us to practice mindfulness. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Dutiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Buddhaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Dhammaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi, Tatiyampi Saṅghaṃ saraṇaṃ gacchāmi. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. To observe the 5 precepts, say after me. I observe the precept of abstaining from killing beings. I observe the precept of abstaining from stealing. I observe the precept of abstaining from sexual misconduct. I observe the precept of abstaining from telling lies. I observe the precept of abstaining from taking intoxicating drinks and drugs. I follow these precepts for happiness in this life, for rebirth in heaven, and to realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya, meritorious Dhamma friends. Today you are learning some suttas for you to help to understand the Mahasatipatthana Sutta very well, and to practice Mahasatipatthana Sutta with great effort and with wisdom and also with mindfulness. So 3 things are always working together: Atapi, Sampajana, Satima. So one day when the Blessed One was living in India, Blessed One preached a nice sutta, gave some wonderful advices to his own son. The Buddha, before he left the palace, he was married, and he was married to a princess called Yashodhara, and from her this baby boy was born, that is Prince Rahula. So after the Buddha left the palace, after 7 years, when the Buddha visited Kapilavastu, even his own son during his lay life became a monk and later became an arahant. Even Princess Yashodhara became a nun, a bhikkhuni, and became an arahanteri. Even the Buddha's mother, the stepmother Prajapati Gotami, became a nun and became an arahant. So his entire family, most of his family members, his relatives, cousins, became great disciples of the Buddha Sasana, and all of them were able to realize the Four Noble Truths and live a wonderful life and attained the Mahaparinibbana, except one person, that was Devadatta. So Devadatta was unfortunate to practice Dhamma, but then at the last stage of his life, even Devadatta said, Buddhan Saranang Gacchami, Dhamman Saranang Gacchami, Sangham Saranang Gacchami, and died. So even Devadatta will have a chance in a future birth, even though he committed a, a grave offense, that is an Anantariya, two Anantarika Papakama. So Devadatta will also be able to realize the Four Noble Truths in a future birth by going for refuge to Buddha Dhamma Sangha. So I hope you remember, I remembered y'all, I reminded y'all that practicing this Dhamma, practicing mindfulness is like making a ship for your life. So when you make a ship, when you have a ship, you can put a lot of weight on that, and without sinking, you can go. So the ship will sail. So your life will be moving peacefully. What happens if you keep a stone on the surface of water? It will sink. Even a small stone, if you try to keep on the surface of the water, it will sink. So Arahan Nagasena said that even if you keep a huge rock on a ship, that ship will still sail, will not sink, because the ship can withstand the weight of the rock and it will move. So we have done bad karma in past lives. We have done bad karma in this life. So now to overcome those bad karma, not to make those bad karma to lead us to be born in a bad place, we should make the ship, and not to make our lives to sink in bad destinations, and practice mindfulness to a great extent and live happily. So once Buddha said to Venerable Rahula, meritorious Rahula, you have you gave up attachment to the five cords of sensual pleasures, which is hard to let go, and renounced the household life and entered the Buddha's dispensation with great trust in your teacher, Supreme Buddha. So even you all are learning this Dhamma by believing maybe just one Dhamma point, and with that belief, with that faith, you want to learn more from the Buddha. So, in the same way, Venerable uh, Rahula became a monk, and under the Supreme Buddha, with great trust in the Buddha, to practice the path. Then Buddha says to Rahula Swamin Wahansa, to Venerable Rahula, associate with good friends, Kalyana Mitta, from whom you can properly learn the Dhamma. You should have friends who can teach you Dhamma properly. Live in peaceful, secluded places. Now, Dhamma friends, these days you all are living in secluded places. So, you all are suitable these days to practice Dhamma. Then, away from people and noisy disturbance. The roads are peaceful, calm, vehicles are not moving that much. So, you all are living in a peaceful place these days. So you can practice the advices given to Venerable Rahula by the Buddha 2600 years ago. Even today you can practice this. Then do not give rise to craving for robes worn, alms would consume, and the bed slept on. Do not come back to the world again. Now, for you all to understand the danger of coming back to this world, these days the disease that is spreading all over the world is more than enough. From time to time, people experiences various difficulties in life, either a tsunami or maybe windstorms. So because of various things, or maybe a world war, so always there are problems in the world. So by looking at these dangers, we should get a message for our life and find a solution from these valuable teachings. Then do not give rise to craving for robes worn. So that means for a monk, he has robes. Like for a layperson, he will have various kinds of clothes. So a monk just have robes, and then uh, the place he's living, and the food he eats, and the medicine. So and the shelter. So as lay people, try to overcome the attachment towards the things that you have. Now see, whatever you had. Now even if you have money in your bank accounts, you can't spend them. There's no value now. Your cars are just parked in the garage. Some people, just to get luxurious vehicle, they quarrel with others and earn money. They argue with others and earn money. But then all those arguments, some people, they cheat others and earn money. Now all that cheating will remain as a bad karma, but the vehicles that you bought cannot use. The money cannot use. So we should be wise. If we know these difficulties, if we knew that this kind of tragic situations could come in future, we might have to uh, separate from these pleasing things, from these uh, appealing things, from the loud ones and loud things. If we knew that early itself, we won't struggle and do bad things to achieve these things in life, because now there's no value in these things. So one day after you die, you will have no control over the things that you have accumulated in life, whether in good ways or bad ways. But if you have done something in a good way, that good karma will remain. But if you have accumulated something in a bad way, the bad karma will remain, but not the things that you have accumulated. Sometimes not even your children will use them. Why spending such a life again and again by coming back to this world? So try to overcome the craving towards the things that you have by seeing the instability. So try to overcome the attachment towards the things that you have around you by understanding the impermanence nature of those things. Then Buddha preached to Venerable Rahula, protect the precepts you have observed. Restrain your senses. Now, to restrain your senses, we taught you the meditation techniques, to be aware of the breath, to be aware of the body postures. Then we taught you to, when you stretch your arms, when you stretch your limbs, be mindful. Don't let unwholesome thoughts to arise in your mind. That is guarding the sense faculties. Then asubha meditation, to see things, to see the impurities in the body when you see someone. So that is guarding your sense faculties. And then change in the contact. That is change in the contact will help you to guard the sense faculties. Then uh, then also seeing as elements, like Buddha preached. Buddha gave a nice simile to practice asubha meditation. It's like you take a bag full of many sorts of grain, such as hill rice, red rice, beans, peas, millet, and white rice. And a man with good eyes were to open it and review it thus: this is hill rice, this is red rice, these are beans, these are peas, this is millet. So he separates all the grains and recognize them separately. In the same way, you should look at the impurities of the body separately and understand the true nature of the body. Then you can guard your sense faculties. Then Buddha preached another simile to practice the meditation on elements. To practice the meditation on elements, Buddha preached a nice simile there as well. So let's learn the simile for Dhatu Manasikara. That means reflection on the elements. Just as though a skilled butcher or his apprentice has killed a cow and was seated at the crossroads with it cut into pieces, so too a monk. So too a monk reflects. A monk reflects upon his very body, however it is placed, however it is positioned, and consisting of elements. Thus, in this body there are earth element, water element, fire element, and air element. So then when he sees these elements separately, he don't see the shape of this body. He don't consider the shape of the body or the beauty of the body or the external appearance. Now for an example, imagine you see a beautiful person with a beautiful skin color, very attractive. But remember that beauty, that skin, how beautiful that skin is, how fair that skin is. That skin has the nature of producing sweat. That skin uh, dust get accumulated on that skin. Then oil get produced on that skin. So people are cleaning these things and maintaining these things. We see the skin, but we don't understand that skin gives a bad smell as well. And this skin has a nature of getting rotten. So when we separately see things according to the true nature, will we get attached? Will lust arise? No, there is no way. There's no chance for lust to arise in our minds. So even if you see a beautiful hair, the hairstyle could be beautiful, but then the hair, it's mixing with dust and it's on our body. uh, it mixes with sweat, it mixes with oil that comes out from the muscles. Then sometimes there are insects inside the hair. So so we should consider that part. We are considering like that is because people can be very beautiful, there's no problem in that, but we should be able to live without getting attached to them. Because if we see 10 people, we might get attached to 10 people and suffer because of 10 people. Throughout the lifetime, we may have to get divorced 3 4 times and live with a agitated mind and live with so much depression and without being able to face the society. So why we want to fall to such a disaster when we have the chance, when we have the shield with us, by thinking wisely, by helping us not to get attached to others. So uh, those are the two similes in Asubha meditation and Dhatu Manasikara. So Buddha preaches always practice mindfulness directed to the body and dwell with full of disenchantment towards the cycle of existence, towards sansara. So now to practice mindfulness, to have effort, we should have the knowledge about the sansara. That means about the previous births and the long journey that we have to go through in this sansara and the long journey that we have come so far. Buddha has said that the amount of tears we have shed when our mother passed away, when all our mothers passed away in the past lives, it's more than the 4 great oceans that we have cried. Same with the father, same with siblings, same with grandparents. So only by knowing these things we will have the interest to practice mindfulness. Then Buddha preaches completely eliminate pleasing signs connected with lust. And see, practice meditation on the impurity of the body with a well concentrated mind. See, completely eliminate pleasing signs connected with lust. So what are the pleasing signs? If the lips are colored, that is a pleasing sign. Then sometimes the skin color is not fair, but then with a beautiful cloth a person can look beautiful. So it's because of the beautiful dress, it's because of that attire that person look beautiful. So we get deceived for the attire. Arhan Rattapala, read the Arhan Rattapala's Theravada. Arhan Rattapala says this body is decorated with beautiful clothes, but then this body is made out of tendons, skeleton, nerves, and these things covered with the skin. So we have to put a lot of effort and try to see the true nature of the body for us to live happily without getting attached. So that's a secret for us to live happily. So people don't think that is negative, because as long as we see whatever that people show to us externally, we will get deceived day by day and we will die with a lot of attachments. We will suffer a lot because of those attachments while we are living even. So then the Buddha preaches practice insight meditation devoid of signs without considering any sign to be permanent, pleasurable, or self, and then overcome conceit. Thus freed of all conceit, dwell with a peaceful mind. When you know that things are impermanent, whatever the some people are very proud of things what they have. They are proud with the things that they have. So even that pride will go away and live happily when all these things are practiced in life. So Buddha gave all these wonderful advices for us to live happily. If Buddha gave this advice to Venerable Rahula, that was his own son before becoming a Buddha, and after becoming a Buddha also, Venerable Rahula became a son by being born from the Buddha's heart. That is, being born from the Buddha's Dhamma, he became a son under the Buddha. So let us practice these teachings in our lives and realize the Four Noble Truths in this Gautama Buddha's dispensation. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Namo Buddhaya.